Hey guys, I just wanted to make this video today because I've had some of these thoughts kind of circling around in my head, and it seems like the only way that I can really get stuff out is by letting it out here, which is kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. But I had kind of been feeling like regrets, about how I treated my sister, how my family treated my sister, and not really knowing what to do with those, and not really knowing how to process them, or really how to move forward from that, because I can't change anything. I can't change what I've done. I can't change what has happened. And I don't get the chance to have closure. I don't get the chance to talk to her again. I don't get the chance to take any of it back. And you might be wondering, well, what the heck did you do? The answer is a lot. But I think that probably the biggest thing that I regret is two things. Other little things too, but two biggest things was, one, I did not invite my sister to my own wedding, which was funny because I didn't even want to have a wedding to begin with because my family's kind of crazy, and I was just worried that they were gonna fight each other or that something crazy was gonna happen and just people were gonna show up drunk, and I don't know. It's just, things that I worry about, because growing up, a lot of times on really important events or like my birthday or something, my family always kind of found a way to ruin it for me. I was just really sensitive to anything alcohol related, or just, certain words, certain things, and they always found a way to hurt me on days where I really needed them to show up the most. Like, I think my mom showed up to one of my softball tournaments completely drunk, driving me home and everything, and it was embarrassing having my mom at my softball tournament because she was complaining about how long it was, which of course I had no control over. And I don't know if you guys know anything about tournaments, but the longer you stay at a tournament, the better that is, because that means you're beating everybody and you get to stay. So it was hurtful that, my mom couldn't see the good that I was doing, and everybody could see the badness of what she was doing, I guess. And I was just really embarrassed, and I didn't want to have that feeling at my wedding because it was already really stressful. And, weddings are stressful. They just are. I planned to have a very small one, and I did. But I hated it. There's, good parts, I guess, but it just wasn't really something that I wanted. I did it because my husband has a pretty big family, and maybe a week or 2 weeks before my wedding, my sister asked me if she could be in it, if she could be a bridesmaid, and I told her no, because she didn't really like me and my husband's relationship at all. And like the second we got engaged, she got really angry and she got really mean to me and was just not supportive of me being engaged at all. I'm the baby of the family, so maybe she thought that she should be getting married first and that she was jealous of that. I'm not sure. I do know that she felt a lot of feelings towards me because she basically was upset that I was successful and she wasn't, because she was just struggling with so much in her life, and understandably so. We both were. I just process it in different ways. And then the second thing was that Christmas 2 years ago, not this past Christmas, but the one before, I guess my dad had given her money to buy presents, and I guess she spent them on drugs because there were no presents. She said that they were late and that they would be here in a few days. But like when my dad asked her, oh, well, what'd you get? Where'd you get it from? She didn't have any response, and she just completely broke down and ran into her room and started crying. And I was so embarrassed because that was my first year as a married couple showing up to my parents' house. Because holidays are a big deal for me. I usually don't bring people around because I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed of what they'll see. Embarrassed of my family, embarrassed of the imperfections going on because I'm super a perfectionist. And I would like warn people, and still to this day warn people if we ever go over there or if ever somebody new meets my family. I'm like, well, I warn you, there's something extra, you know, I'm not like them, don't judge me off my family. And it's so dumb to think this because I highly doubt this will ever happen, but I was watching The Bachelor with my friends, and I was just thinking, like, I could never go on The Bachelor ever. Not to mention I'm married, but just that aside, I could never go on a show like this because the second these people see my family, it's either A, gonna become a total crapshoot, or it's gonna become like all about that and what a train wreck my family is and what a train wreck I am and all of this stuff, and I don't want to be seen like that. Which is valid, you know, it's valid that I do feel that way. But it also really, really sucks to be that family member, especially my sister, of you have to warn people to come around me kind of thing. Especially if they find out that that's like what you're doing. I didn't even go hug her. God, I'm gonna cry. One of these days I'll make a video where I don't cry, I swear. I didn't even hug her. I didn't even ask her, hey, you know, what's going on? Hey, you want to talk? Hey, I'm here for you. Hey, do you want me to sit with you? Hey, I'm here. And to be truthful, because even when I would do those things, like, she would just push me away a lot of times. No, I don't want to talk. No, go away. Get the F out of my room. Get the F out of my face. Because, you know, some people, when they're just really upset, they just don't want to talk. And I kind of am like that. If I'm like really upset, I just need to be left alone for a little while, and so I can process stuff, and then I can talk about things. But I just really hate that. So I guess I have some advice for you guys if you have a family member that is struggling with addiction, or even a friend, or even just somebody you know that is struggling with addiction. Because growing up, you know, I always blamed myself, and I always wanted to do more. And I was like, if only I was a perfect child, if only I was a perfect friend, I could do this, I could do that. If I was better Christian, if I was better at this, if I was just better, period, then I could change this, then I can stop it, then I can make it better. And none of that's true. Because it's not me that's making these decisions. It's not my fault. It's not my responsibility. Not saying that I don't have an impact. You definitely do. But it's not your fault. There was a book, I think it's called Different Like Me, a book for children, adult children of parents who use or abuse alcohol/drugs. And the biggest chapter that I read that made the biggest difference to me, it was like how to stop your family member from abusing, and in big bold letters at the top of the chapter it said, you can't because you can't. And I don't regret the things that I did or said in the sense of like I wish I could go back and change them so that I could change the outcome, because I know that's probably not true. I don't think anything that I did necessarily would have prevented my sister from committing suicide, because for me I always kind of felt like it wasn't an if, it was a when. And I think I would destroy myself trying to figure that out and trying to think of like, well, if only I'd done this, if only I did that, and this, and that, and this, and this, and that would just tear me up forever. And I don't think that would be helpful. But I think my biggest problem with the things that I did, and you know, hindsight's 20/20, totally get that, because you don't know what you don't know, and at the time I didn't know how to process my own feelings in a healthy way, so there's no way that I could do that for somebody else. But now that I can, I think something that would have made the biggest difference is knowing how to talk to them and be there for them and support them without sacrificing myself. Because a lot of what I did, I guess you would call like martyrdom, I don't know. I would give until there was nothing left in me and I was broken too. And I don't think that's healthy either. Noble, sure. But you can't feed everyone everything and also be okay yourself. Think of it this way. Say you have this much food, just this big armful of food, and you have a bunch of people around you that you need to feed. Like, just say that they're, for the sake of this example, they're not able to feed themselves for whatever reason. So doing what I previously had done, I would just shove all the food in their faces, and then at the end of the day, I would look down and there'd be nothing left for me, and I would be starving. But maybe if I took, you know, one bite from each piece that I was giving away, then I would also be full too, or at least not starving. What does that mean, Jackie? I'm glad you asked. In order to survive, let's just think from a physical standpoint, you have to eat. When you're hungry, you have to eat. You can't just focus on giving away so much food and focus on the good that you're doing by giving away all that food and then be okay. You just can't. So you also have to eat too. Let's break this down into a better example, I think, because I'm getting kind of abstract here. With my mom, she is still a severe alcoholic. She will die from it. It's only a matter of time. I am kind of honestly surprised that she's still alive today. I don't know how. She's died more than once, and somehow has made it back. Sure. So, how can I give her love, give her support, give her what she needs without dying on the inside? Because for a while that was not possible, because I wanted so much from her. I had such high expectations. And I don't mean wanted so much from her as in like, here mom, I want you to do all of these things for me. I want you to give me all of this stuff. What I wanted from her was give up your addiction, stop it, get better, be a mom, be healthy. And that's just not her reality. That's not something that she's able to do. So I am slowly trying to teach her as best I can, but I have changed my expectations completely, and I'm just going to be present with her and going to be present for her when she needs me. And just, you know, just in general, I call her more now, go see them, and when I spend time with them, I just allow her to be herself, and I hear the things that she says, and I ask her questions about her life, and I give her food, I buy her food, I buy her clothes, you know, just little things that make her happy. I'm not rich by any means, but I'm not like hurting for money, so like spending $10 here and there, not a huge deal to me, but it's a huge deal to her. It makes her feel special. So those are some small things that I can do that doesn't break me and that allows me to be in her life and allows me to give her something. No, it's not as much as I want to be able to do, because honestly, my old self wishes that I could just throw away all of my everything and just pour it into her and fix her. But that's not reality, that's not truth, and regardless of what I do, it's still her choice. So all I can do is be there for her and love her as she is. I've accepted who she is. I'm hopeful. I'm always going to be hopeful. That's never going to go away. I'm always going to want better things for her. But I've accepted her for who she is, and I show up for her as who she is right now. Not who I think she should be, not who I think she could be. Who she is right now. She is an alcoholic right now. She is hurting right now. No, I can't plug up all the holes in the boat and stop the boat from sinking, but I can patch some here and there. I can bail some out here and there. So it won't be the best, prettiest looking boat out there, but at least I'm there. And one day when she goes, I'll be there too. Yeah, it will hurt. Of course it will hurt. But she won't be alone. And I think that is key, and I think that is still huge. So even though it feels small, sometimes just having somebody there while you're in pain is everything. So don't feel like you're not doing anything, but don't completely throw your life away and sacrifice your life for something that may never happen. So love them, be there for them, at the same time you're loving yourself and being there for yourself. And if you can't do it by yourself, that's totally fine. Have somebody with you. Have somebody give you advice. Have somebody be with you, like a friend or a coworker or your spouse or whoever. And if all you can do is to send them good thoughts, do it. Just do it. Y'all are both worthy of love. I love you. I'm here for you. Have a good week.